Morrison. I'm the founder of Six Figure Pet Business Academy and the creator of the Prosperous Pet Business Online Conference. I'm so happy to have you all here today. And I'm very happy to have Chess Edwards back. He was here last year. And as those of you who attended the conference last year know, he's a teacher of mindfulness and presence. And he helps his clients enliven and integrate mind, body, and spirit for really powerful and joyful living, which is what so many of us are wanting in our lives. And like last year, Chess is going to be doing a cooking segment in a bit here. And we'll be talking about how living a healthy lifestyle while having a busy pet business can be possible. So welcome, Chess. I'm just really happy to have you here.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you for inviting me. It's great to be back.
Yeah. So what healthy actions do you take in your life to make your life more joyful and powerful?
Yeah, I love what you said, that especially building a pet business and any new enterprise or any enterprise that we pour our love into, it takes so much of us to show up and do that. And Kahlil Gibran has a wonderful quote that says, "Our work is our love made visible." Our work is our love made visible. So I want to make sure that I and anyone I work with, I think it's important that we all do whatever we can to build our foundation of strength and wholeness, so we have something to build our lives upon. So what I do is, the main things are I hydrate, I get good sleep, I exercise. Yeah, exactly. Got my water bottle right here. Same one we used last time, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I meditate, and primarily I learn constantly learning how to love myself.
How to what?
Love myself.
Oh, and how do you do that?
The main way I love myself is by, first of all, those other things, building the foundations of treating myself beautifully, giving myself enough water, enough rest, enough healthy, vibrant, vital food, good exercise. That's a great way to love ourselves. And then the other way is when I'm building a business, working on projects that I'm working on, and I don't get it right, or I screw up, or I fall off the wagon and I have a bad week and I eat badly or something, that I don't beat myself up, and I've just learned to laugh and smile and be curious and go, oh, wow, look at how I just totally didn't show up yesterday. And how I was really, so I can look at it from a witnessing place of smiling at it. So that helps a lot.
That's great. It's funny because I interviewed Alicia last year, Alicia Datner. She's an improv comedian, and I've taken some improv classes with her, and she's just so great because in the improv class, when you screw up, which happens all the time in an improv class because you don't know what the heck you're doing.
It's like life.
Yeah, it's like life. It's such a reflection of life. And one thing that you do that you're really supposed to do is you go, I screwed up. And you kind of raise your hands in the air of surrender, like, I screwed up. And it's so great because how often we think we have to be perfect, whether we're running a business, living our lives. And to be able to go, I screwed up, it's just so fantastic and forgiving of ourselves,
I love that. I love that. It is. It's just the laugh of like, God, right, here I am I'm being human. It turns out I'm human.
Yeah, that's right. And so a lot of business owners just get so busy in the day-to-day running of their business. And I know you're a business owner as well. And what do you do to really slow down in this busy kind of fast-paced life? How do you do that?
The main thing is we have to choose to. We have to choose to. We have to make that a commitment and a priority. The beautiful quote around dancing, Balanchine, the choreographer, says, rest is a phase of movement. Rest is a phase of movement. So we have to choose to rest and look at our lives and be really clear on the why. Why are we needing to rest? That we recognize that we can feel into ourselves, our body, our wholeness, primarily from a state of rest. So then the choices become, how am I going to structure my day? if I need to get up at 5 a.m., if I need to get up earlier so that I can get a good 20 minutes of meditation in the morning, then that's what I have to do. Because I've recognized, Kristen, that every time I step away from my practices of self-care, not sometimes, not every once in a while, every single time I do that, I find that I am not as clear, I'm not as purposeful, I'm not as vital, and I'm not aligned in my business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gotten to the point now where there's just no choice. So I choose how I'm going to spend my time of stillness and self-care. And I choose the meals that I eat.
Mm-hmm.
I choose, how can I blend my yoga practice with my exercise? Because I don't have time to do a full workout program and have a full yoga practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I choose to blend those types of things. So it's really around choosing our health.
Mm-hmm. And, speaking of that, the choosing, a lot of people, especially people who are running a business and those who just have a lot going on, they tend to let, and I know I've done this too, let healthy cooking, meal preparation be kind of the first thing to go. It's like, oh, I'll just order something to go. And I mean, there are healthy to-go options, of course, but how can people really make healthy cooking a priority?
I think one of the things that helps a lot is to recognize that when we're eating more healthfully and when we're preparing the meal ourselves, that it enlivens us in a certain way that actually saves time in other areas of our lives. We may have more energy, vitality, focus, and dedication to stepping into a project that's a little bit scary or daunting.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually ends up saving us time in our lives to make sure that we're taking care of the vehicle and make sure it's running as tip-top as possible. So that's one thing, just that shift in perspective. The other thing is like salads and such. Oftentimes on a Sunday, I'll go ahead and I'll chop a bunch of carrots and put them in a Tupperware, a bunch of tomatoes, put them in a Tupperware, a bunch of celery, put them in a Tupperware. Then when I've got to make a salad for lunch midweek, how easy is it to take, now we can buy bags of beautiful fresh baby greens lettuce. I can take some lettuce, put it on a plate, open my Tupperwares, put on the salad mixings, and maybe open a can of wild caught tuna or salmon. I eat fish, so I'll put that on there, or any type of a more protein based vegetable, and I got a salad, and it takes me 5 minutes because I did a little prep at the beginning of the week.
That's great. That's great. And so speaking of prep, you're going to be presenting and demonstrating a healthy meal item today. And what is that meal item?
It is a marinated portobello mushroom salad. I love this salad because it gives, sometimes, I can fall into the trap of looking at a salad and going, really? like that's gonna fill me up? I don't think so. I've still got a mentality of a 20-year-old guy who had a much faster metabolism. So if I can make a salad that has a meaty option to it, like a nice meaty portobello mushroom, and we'll talk about that as I'm preparing it, that helps me feel like I'm eating a good, robust meal, and it's still just a salad.
And I just want to point out, behind you, over your shoulder, is a mushroom.
Apparently, I like mushrooms. That was a picture I took up in Alaska, hiking up in Denali, and I was doing a day of mindful walking, just a day of walking very slowly through the wilderness. And when I did, suddenly I noticed there's all sorts of beautiful things that I might have walked right past if I wasn't being more mindful.
It's incredible. It looks very space age, actually. I'm looking at it. It looks like a flying saucer.
They may be flying saucers. You don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I will see you in the kitchen, and then I'll see you to talk about it in just a minute.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I love this salad, so I'll see you in just a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And I'm not going to stop the broadcast. Now we're just going to go into the next thing. So bear with me here for just a second. Good job. That was great.
Yeah, I think we've covered a lot. It was beautiful.
Really good. It's fun, playful.
Yeah, it's all about being playful, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
When we get too serious and we start stressing about things, it's like, oh, that's right. This is all, we're just playing. We're trying to figure hear all this out and we're just playing.
It's so silly.
Like kids building forts. That's all we're doing. We're just
Yeah.
building our lives.
Exactly. Okay, great. Okay.
I'll change a little bit as if I just got back.
Okay, good. This is so fun. All right, Chess, thank you so much for that wonderful demonstration of the portobello salad. I am just so excited to make that salad. I'm going to get the
Very
ingredients today.
And I've got lunch now ready for after the interview.
Yeah. And I just, I love how your friend said she was referring to quinoa as the world's cutest grain.
It is so cute.
It is cute. Oh yeah, it just looks incredible, and I just love how meaty it is. That's the thing about salads, like you were saying earlier, they can be kind of wimpy, and so to have a portobello mushroom that has a consistency of meat can be really satisfying,
Yeah. And I couldn't find them, but sunflower sprouts, of all the sprouts, they're the most robust and heavy, and they're so sweet.
They
So
are.
those on top of that salad work well as well.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, and I loved how I had forgotten about the whole thing with the knife and the garlic and how that's a good way to crush it.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated you bringing in that little trick.
Every time I do it, even when I'm cooking alone, every time I crush the garlic like that, there's a weird sense of pride of like, I know how to crush garlic.
I get it.
Little things,
Yeah,
right?
it's like a secret trick, secret kitchen trick. And I use Bragg's amino acids a lot, and I've also started using coconut aminos. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, they're really, really healthy.
Okay.
Anyway, you might want to check those out.
Coconut's so good for the brain,
It is.
for brain function. Yeah, it feeds the brain in a lot of really, really good ways. So it makes our mental acuity a lot more precise.
Yeah, and then the sesame oil too. There's just something about that, having the sesame oil. It's such a unique taste.
It is, and people can play with that. I mean, so if they can play with it, if it's too much or not enough, because it does have such a strong, unique taste all on its own.
Yeah, and it's funny too. I was thinking about how when we were talking earlier about, the I screwed up thing and how you forgot the olive oil.
Yeah.
But you had that little reminder flashing across. It's just great.
Yeah. Afterwards, I looked back and I just laughed at it. I went, oh yeah, look at that! I totally forgot the olive oil.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. So we'll work with that.
Yeah, that's great. Okay,
Yeah.
good. And then, so how can conference attendees find out more about you and what you're up to in your work, Jess?
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. The two primary ways, I have two websites. One of them is chessedwards.com. The nice thing about having a unique name like Chess is nobody else had chessedwards.com. And the other is through a podcast that I have called Beyond the Noise. So they can go beyondthenoisepodcast.com. And there's all sorts of really cool interviews with beautiful people who are, paying attention to how to live life more consciously.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Chess. I really appreciate your time and your energy and just your willingness to help us eat more healthfully. Thank you.
Yeah, to build our foundations of health. And thank you, Kristen. The work you're doing is absolutely fantastic. So I appreciate the opportunity that you give to me and that you give to everybody whose lives you touch. You're doing really good work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank
Have
you,
a
Kristen.
good day. Take care.
All right. I'm going to go eat a salad.
Okay. Bye.